Jesse Jackson, Barack Obama, and your boy Minister Louis Farrakhan neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And right here, I don't know if you can see that house right there. Can you see that?
See what?
Can you see that house right there?
Yeah.
That's Louis Farrakhan's house.
It was?
That is.
Oh, it still is.
Yeah. You see the security sitting out here?
Yeah.
That's Farrakhan's house. Right here.
A little more than a house.
Huh? You say what?
I said that looks more than a house.
That's a nice one, ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't nothing. I'm gonna turn this block here, and then I'm gonna go down this block, and then guess whose house I'm gonna be at?
Whose house you gonna be at? Well, y'all still got that Chicago internet though. Your internet ain't too good.
Well,
your connection.
You know how that goes. You know how that go. But look,
yeah,
the Secret Service ain't gonna let me get all the way up on it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna stop you. You know, they stop you. They don't let you ride down the block. But
I was wondering why you was been able to point the camera out the window.
Huh?
I was wondering when they was gonna stop you from pointing the camera out the window.
Oh, no,
just riding by videotaping.
that was at Louis Farrakhan's house. But
I'm saying,
look,
I'm gonna come see you if you videotaping my house.
Look at this. Look at this. You see what it say?
I say, do not enter. You going the wrong way, fool.
Wait, you see the sign up under? The sign up. The sign up under. Ain't worried about that. You see it?
What is that?
It say presidential traffic only. Oh shit! Here we go. All right, let me out. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I ain't on nothing. Just showing my peoples.
I can't come get you tonight. So I can't come get you tonight. It's gonna be a whole 24 hours.
Hey, you seen it say presidential traffic though, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, that's Barack Obama's block.
You live there. You live in Chicago?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
You know where McCook? You know McCook?
Who?
McCook.
McCook, Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what it said. That's a suburb.
Yeah, I was working over there at the FedEx last year and a half ago. And
yeah, that's like a northwest suburb.
We stayed in Embassy Suites downtown I think on Market Street. You know Embassy Suites?
Yeah, I know what the Embassy Suites is.
Yeah, we stayed there for like 4 nights while I was working in McCook. We walked around the city. It's a beautiful city, man. That is a beautiful city. Let me show you. Let me share my screen. Let me show you some pictures. I know you've seen this before, but Barry probably hasn't seen this. How beautiful it is. I took that picture.
Yeah. That's right there at the at Chicago River, right there. Mile.
Yeah, that's a rooftop bar. That's like a rooftop bar.
Yeah,
Barry.
That's at the Chicago River though.
Yeah, right.
That's on the river.
Yeah, here goes.
I know exactly what it said. Told you that's on the river right there. They go to tour bus. I mean the tour boat.
Yeah, it was beautiful, man. It's It's probably the most beautiful city I ever been in. It's gorgeous.
Hey, look, hey, one more thing. You go R. Kelly High School.
Smell like this.
That's R. Kelly High School right there. I'm sorry, I grew up in a wild ass neighborhood. It ain't really wild, but you know, it is wild over here.
Yeah.
But it's still the hood.
Hey, the hood gonna be the hood.
The hood gonna be the hood, baby.
Yeah.
But like I say,
So
tonight's
what's the
topic was about Black
nuts and
Lives
bolts.
Matter.
Black
Yeah.
Lives Matter.
Yeah, man. I got some, see, because I used to have a friend when I was like, okay, so you're early on, I was locked up a few times, right? So one time I was in Athens, Georgia, and it was a YDC, so I was like 15, maybe 16, and it was kids, you know, from all over. There was probably about 10 kids in the little wing I was in the pod I was in, and one of them was named Eddie Whitfield, and he was from Waynesboro, right? And I was from Augusta, so we were kind of from the same sort of neighborhood, right? Kind of in the way, because you know some of these kids were from farther away, but we were relatively close. So we instantly like connected, you know what I mean? And Eddie was probably about this big, right? Black dude. And he was cool. He was funny, you know what I mean? And man, we was in there for months. I don't know how many months, but me and Eddie used to slide stuff under the door from my cell across to his cell. He was right across the hall from me. We'd slide stuff under the door. We'd look out the little window, you know, and talk to each other and just reminisce. And then when we got out for like dinner, for time to eat, or like we had a few hours at night, we sat in the TV room, watched TV, and you know, we cut up and we got along, man. He kind of looked out for me because he was the biggest dude in the YDC. And you know, he looked out for me, you know what I mean? But me and him had a lot of good times, man. We laughed, we cut up, and you know, it was just, it's something I'll always remember. I'll never forget that. Eddie Whitfield, Waynesboro, Georgia. Now, you could take Eddie and stand him up beside George Floyd, and you would swear they were brothers. I kid you not. They almost look identical. And so when I saw the George Floyd thing, that was one of the first things I thought of, man. I was like, damn, that dude looks like Eddie. Remind me of Eddie. You know what I'm saying? And Eddie was my friend. So, you know, I kind of felt like, you know, it was fucked up. Because no matter how you look at it, man, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. That shit was not right. There is no reason a professional lawman, a professional policeman could not control George Floyd better than what they did. I mean, they had 5 professional policemen, and that's the best you can do, because that don't fly. You know what I mean? You can't tell me that's the best you could do. You weren't trying to protect that man, you know what I mean, and protect his life, because ultimately that's what the police do. They're supposed to protect life and property.
You're right. You're right.
And they were not. No, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say. They were not interested in protecting his life. They could have handled it a lot better. Because there's another thing. If you handcuff, right? You got on handcuffs and you're on the ground. What can you do? If I got you in handcuffs and you try to get up, all I gotta do is trip you. You're gonna fall back down. You cannot run. You cannot get away.
You can't run.
You cannot get away in handcuffs. So the police can't tell me. All they had to do was leave him on the ground, let him lay there till he calmed down, Eventually, it might have been 30 minutes. It might have been an hour. So what? You had to put in a little overtime that day, spend an extra hour, let him tire himself out. And then say, look, are you ready to get in the car? We're going to go. We're going to process you in. It's a $20.
Take your ass now.
Dude, all you had was a fake $20 bill. That's it. Is that really a big deal? See, to me, that's not even an arrestable offense. Why should you put somebody in jail for the passing a fake 20?
It's not a arrestable offense.
It
You
should.
he shouldn't have went to jail for it.
No, he shouldn't.
But I have a different view, and my view sometimes offends people.
You ain't gonna offend me, man. Go
I'm
ahead.
just-
Tell me. I want to hear, because I feel the same way, you know. I
I
feel like
don't know. You know,
No.
you're not talking the way I think.
What do you think?
7836. Huh?
Tell me. I want to hear it.
That's why we're here tonight.
Yeah, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I swear to God. I'm open to
And that's why I brought strong-minded people together.
For
You see
sure,
what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
why I called you.
Tell me.
So I think George Floyd brought a lot of that on himself.
True.
He brought a lot of that on himself. I'm not saying that he deserved to die.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I don't agree with that.
No.
But if you play stupid games, you win stupid prize.
Yeah, I heard that before. That's true. And you're right. And that's the thing. You know, yeah, George Floyd. But tell me this, and who hasn't been out, wilding out on and doing stuff they probably really shouldn't have been doing? We all did.
All right.
Police
But,
do it.
hey, tell me this. When common sense kick in, you say, all right, you got me.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
You say, all
Lay
right,
his
you
ass
got me.
down.
And then that's the end of it.
But you
Especially after you got handcuffs on. It ain't no motive. Ain't
That's
no
right.
more to fight about.
Yeah, they got you. You're right. Once they got the cuffs on you, you can't get away, man. It's just not going to happen. But what you said was crucial. You said when common sense kicks in. But do you know when your common sense can't kick in? Is when you're scared. You don't make rational decisions when you're in fear. And that's what George Floyd, he was in fear. He was scared. Because he had good reason to be. You know what I mean? A lot of black people died at the hands of the police. White people too, But the fact is, they shouldn't, man. The police have no business treating people that way. Because this is the thing.
Yeah.
If you say law and order and justice, that's not justice. The law doesn't say the police gets to kick the shit out of you because you're out here acting a fool. That's not justice. That's street justice. See, the law doesn't allow the police to beat you up on the scene just because you did a crime. See, they're overstepping.
Listen, there's sexy chicks out here tonight. I don't know what the hell going on, but they is out here. I'm listening to you though.
No,
God damn, man. I'm telling you.
See, and society looks at that like, well, he shouldn't have been out there passing 20. He shouldn't have been out there doing what he did, and the police wouldn't have got him. That's true. But by the police overstepping their boundaries and punching, kicking, roughhousing, all that shit, see, they're now criminals. They have broken.
Okay, tell me this. How many black people get killed by the police a year? Do you all right, can you get like a rough estimate?
Google it.
Yeah. Well, I can't Google it, but you can Google it. How many black people per year get killed by the police?
Well, there's a lot we don't hear of.
Wait, right? You're right. It's a lot, and this finna bust your head. This finna bust your head.
Okay. Oh, here's something right here. Let's see. I can share the screen. You want me to share my screen?
Share your screen.
Okay, here. Let me move it over. Okay. There it goes. Can you see that?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it to the front.
How many it say?
Oops. Okay, so for 2017, 457 white.
Go ahead. Less than 100 blacks.
I don't know how to read this. Oh, okay. In 2017, 457 white, 223 black, 179 Hispanic, 44 other, and 84 unknown. That was 17.
Right. How many blacks was killed by the police?
223.
And now how many whites was killed by the police?
457. Almost double.
Okay, so and that ain't even saying white cop killed black cop. That's just police alone, right?
Yes, shot to death. Shot. That's just guns. Shot to death. So George Floyd ain't in there because he wasn't shot. So that's just shot.
Do you see something right there?
Well, other than it's half as much.
All right. So now Google this. How many black people kill black people and how many white people kill white people?
It might be on that same website, but yeah, let's see. Statista. Yeah, same website. They got the numbers. Let's see. Number of murder victims in the United States in 2020 by race, ethnicity, and gender. But it don't show who killed them. It just shows how many died. So let's go back.
So you want to try like black on black crime versus white on white crime?
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for right now.
This is okay. Here's one from the FBI. Okay, so I don't know what. Oh, 2016. That's what year this is. You got white killed white, 2,854. Black killed black, 243. Wow. You see that?
Wait, you say what happened?
White killed white, 2,800. Black killed black, 2,570.
Wow.
No, I think that statistic, you're probably looking at it wrong, because here in Chicago alone, we had in 2016, I think we had like 627 murders.
Yeah.
It said 2,500 murders black on black compared to 2,700 white on white.
Oh, he said 2,500.
Yeah. 2,500 and 2,800 white on white.
Right.
And that's crazy with the statistics of white people versus black people.
Yeah, because you know something, Barry, I just thought about. Me and my wife, we watch ID Channel a lot. You ever watch ID Channel?
I don't, but I know what you're talking about.
It's nothing but white people, ain't it? They always killing for money, insurance, and other shit like that. It is. All the murders on ID, most of them, you know what I'm saying?
But they're not going around killing random motherfuckers either.
Well, no, it's usually killing their wife or their husband or whatever for money. You know what I mean? Some of these people sick, man. I've seen some stuff on there. My jaw hit the floor. I'm like, how can people be so, you know what I mean? But you don't see that on the news. Like, you never see a newscast that says, today, husband killed his wife for insurance money. Like,
No, you don't see that.
that's never newsworthy. You see that on ID channel, on the Mystery Channel. You know what I mean?
Now I want you to Google this. Now this is now you Google that. Now Google it's black on white crime and white on black crime.
That's on the
I forgot the name of it, but
that's here too.
all right, well, I can't see it because I'm driving, you know, my
Yeah,
screen.
don't look at this. You drive.
Yeah, I want you to just read it out to me.
Okay, let me read it out to you. Okay, white killed black 533. Black killed white 243. So 533, 243.
Now, that number right there plays into Black Lives Matter hand, right?
What you mean? You mean
All
like
right. So blacks killed 233 whites.
Yeah, 243, but yeah.
243 whites.
Yes.
I think you're looking at some wrong stats.
White killed 533 black. This was in 2016. Supposedly, this is by the FBI. I don't know, like how. And are we talking about just? We're talking about homicide.
Because I done Googled these stats before and looked at them.
How many was it?
Yeah, just what are the stats that you had? I mean, like I said, this is old.
Yeah, this is 2016.
So I think if you go on blackdemographics.com,
yeah,
and look at it, you'll see a more recent number.
Okay. You want it in crime, okay? Now hate crimes is you sure we talking about murder or what? What are we talking about?
We're talking about it all. They all should come together.
Oh, here's one. White on white versus black on black homicide from 1995 to 2012. So white on white. Oh no, wait, that's not what we was looking for.
What was that you was just reading?
That was white on white and black on white homicide. White on white versus black on white homicide from 1995 to 2012. And so what they're saying is white on white homicide was 4,124. Black on white homicide was 699. Does that sound right?
Hold on, we got a police.
No, don't. Yeah.
Look, don't want another statistic.
Man, listen, and listen to this. That's one of the things I wanted to say, man. I started a website. I didn't really start it. I bought the domain like a few days after this all went down. And it's called the Perry Act. Do you remember George Floyd's brother came on TV and he was speaking to the crowd and stuff, and they called him Perry? That was his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I started the perryact.com, and this is my idea. I think that we should all get together, the people, and demand that they pass a law. Maybe if you need to add it to the Constitution, whatever you got to do, it should be a law in America that if the police approach a citizen, anybody, okay, the citizen should have the right to an attorney present at that moment, not later at court, right then. So if the police pull you over right now and you feel scared, the police walk up to your window and says, "Sir, can I see your ID?" And you say, "I'd like a lawyer present, please." Right then, he should have to cease.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Why?
Not here in Chicago. I don't agree with that.
Well, tell me why not. You gotta give me some good ideas. Why not? Why won't it work? Because I know it. I ain't perfect. I don't know everything. So if you
have you looked at the news? Do you got like a fire stick or anything?
Nah, I mean, probably maybe. I used to have a Google. What do you call that thing?
You can download the app for free. If you download this app, ABC7 Chicago.
ABC7 Chicago?
Yeah. And just watch it at 10 o'clock. At 9 o'clock your time. Wait, it'll be, because we're an hour behind y'all. So it'll be 11 o'clock your time. Just watch that. Just watch that. Download that app and watch it at 11 o'clock your time.
Is that y'all's local news?
That's our local news. That it will hurt it will stop you from watching TV.
Just one night.
One night. One night. Look, it was like 3 carjackings. They just carjacked, and these are all little teenagers. These are all little teenagers. They carjacked a boy. He got out his truck to go in the store. Damn, man, you can see that man right there. They carjacked his Range Rover with a 4-year-old baby in the car, took off and ran. If you download that app, this happened right now. Then, just 2 days ago, a 15 and a 16-year-old boy, the 16-year-old boy was on house arrest. They carjacked the car, then they took it in and went 10 blocks, got out the car and killed another 15-year-old boy who had just got out of school. The police, they got these cameras here in Chicago where they can monitor your cars. Like if you speeding, it picks up your license plate and it tracks your license plates as you go along, right?
Yeah.
They caught up with them going to O Block, right? Well, not going to O Block. I don't want to say they was going to O Block, but they caught up with them right there near O Block.
They was in that direction.
Going in that direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
Hey, they caught up with him. He was on house arrest. They just locked him up. It's gonna be on the news tonight. You'll see it tonight. If you watch that ABC7 Chicago app tonight, you'll see. Damn, boy, this here is crazy.
How you know about it? You heard it on the radio or what? Already?
It's on the news.
Oh, it's on the news
every day.
For real?
Yeah, this is every day.
So
this is every day.
Well,
look,
now see, to me that falls in a different category. Right there, the police need to be doing their job and like, you know,
but we got a state's attorney. You know, she come from Cabrini Green, and her name is Kim Fox.
I know her.
She's the one who let Jesse Smollett off of his charges. She's the one who dropped the charges on Jesse Smollett. And guess what? Everybody that do something here, she just dropped the charges.
Yeah, I've heard about her. I've heard a lot about Kim Fox.
They want her out of office so bad, but the Democrats keep on voting her back in. So all she doing is letting everybody out. You get caught with a gun here, You can get caught for shooting somebody and they die. You go to the county jail, you'll be out in 3 hours on house arrest.
Wow. You know that don't happen around here.
Hey, we need a Republican state. We need a Republican state in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm against the Democrats. I'm not with the Democrats.
Yeah.
Oh, I was. I was. But
You was with
no longer.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is on that point. I can tell the difference on how I'm living now compared to how I was living a year and a half ago. The lights are still on, but it's just one light instead of all of them.
It looks good in there though, Barry. I meant to tell you that last night. I like that ceiling. What's that? A cathedral? They call it cathedral.
Oh yeah.
That's
B, I sing. You looking good, baby.
Yeah, hard now, man. It's
I appreciate that, fella.
You gonna walk in that ice? You don't want to walk in that ice.
So, what is the tragedy we were speaking about?
Okay, the tragedy is this. All right. When George Floyd happened, the protesters started protesting, and the point of the protest was against police brutality. That was the whole reason. They were that too many Black people get killed irresponsibly by the police, and they didn't deserve it, just like George Floyd. And that is a huge problem in this country. The police feel like they are untouchable. They do whatever they want. Like I was saying, street justice. They need to follow the law and stuff like that. So anyway, let's go. Let's keep on the subject. All right. The tragedy is this. BLM was basically at the forefront of the protests, right? They took the center stage, and they were protesting the death of George Floyd on behalf of police brutality. And that is a huge problem in this country. There ain't no doubt about it. It is a problem. Now, you might remember Freddie Gray. If you don't know Freddie Gray, look Freddie Gray up. Freddie Gray. You know Freddie Gray?
Freddie Gray, St. Louis.
No, Atlanta.
Freddie Gray was in Atlanta?
That's the dude that was selling the cigarettes at the gas station that had the gun on him. That also,
he died. Do you remember how he died?
Yeah, he got shot, but didn't he have a gun on him?
No, Freddie Gray died in the back of a DUI van, one of those big, the meat wagon.
That's St. Louis, ain't it? Ain't that up there in St. Louis area?
I thought it was Atlanta. I'm pretty sure it's Atlanta.
No, you talking about the kid in Boston that was drunk.
I say, look, we're gonna look it up real fast.
Yeah, look it up because
I don't want to be wrong. Freddie Gray, I believe that was up there in where they was riding in.
Yeah, that was in Boston.
They suspected Freddie of selling drugs. They approached him on the street and said, "Hey,
Baltimore."
Baltimore, yeah, I said Boston.
Yep.
Didn't we go
Baltimore
up there
in 2015.
Ain't that where we went when we went and did the DirecTV at?
That's where y'all went. You know I ain't go.
Oh, you ain't go up there?
I ain't never left one time. Only time I ever did some work on the road was with Russ.
Oh, okay.
I said I'll never go out there like that doing that anyway. But no, that was on Baltimore back in 2015.
Okay, and he died in the back of a
van. Where he broke his neck.
Broke his neck. Now, he was in handcuffs in the back of that van, and the police are driving erratically, slinging him around in the back of that van with his handcuffs so he can't break his fall. And he ended up hurting himself. That happened to me. One time I got stopped for DUI. They put me in the back of the van, and they did the same thing. There was about 5 of us back there, and they were laughing cutting up because we was just slinging all over. They slam on brakes, everybody hit the front. Then they punch the gas, turn the wheel, everybody crush into each other, and they were just laughing their ass off. That's how Freddie Gray died. And the police do that. See, that's street justice. Yeah, we were out DUI. Yeah, we were out, you know what I mean? But we're still human beings. And that does not give the police the right to treat people that way. You know what I'm saying? So police brutality is a problem, man. They overstep their boundaries. They know it. We know it. Everybody knows it. But people accept it. People turn their eye, you know what I mean, look the other way because you say, well, you shouldn't have been out DUI and you wouldn't have been like that. True. But that don't mean that they get to enact street justice because that is not true justice. And that's not America, right? So that's why I think that people ought to have the right to an attorney right then. And it would stop a lot of the fear and you would stop a lot of the run. Like,
no, if people obey the law and respect the law, it ain't no respect for law.
Well, it ain't. But what I'm
It
saying
ain't no respect for law, man. The real problem is it ain't no respect. Don't nobody respect the law.
Right.
The law is the law. And I understand that there's some good cops, there's some bad cops, but the law is the law. And I'm gonna respect the law.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep myself in order because I know that it's bad people out there and I know it's good people out there. But until I'm able to determine who is who, I deal with my situation in the courtroom. I'm not gonna tell no police you can't do this to me, you can't do that to me. Fuck that. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. If I gotta go sit at the jail for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, fuck that. I'm gonna sit at the jail for 2, 3 weeks, and then I'm gonna fight it out in court.
Yeah, right. And that's the best way to do it, you know. But the thing that a lot of people, man, they ain't happy with the thought of the police can just overstep their boundaries. And see, another thing they do is they can entrap you because you don't know the law. See, they're well versed in the law. It's their job to know the law. We are electricians and like truck drivers and plumbers, and we do a job all day long. We don't have time to study law. So when the police pulls me over and they tell me what's the law, I don't know. I'm at a huge disadvantage. I don't study law. So they can entrap me, and they do. They entrap you, and they're not supposed to. So that's why I think people should have the right to an attorney, because that's legal protection so that the police can't overstep their boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So, but when BLM, see, it turned into like associated with violence. You know what I mean? And they almost had their point across, and then it suddenly they inherited the reputation for violence and doing destruction, and that's the tragedy. You know what I mean? Because they had a great platform. BLM, if they could have funneled that energy into let's make a law to solve this problem so this don't happen again. So when a police approaches a person on the street, in the car, wherever, and says, "Sir, can I ask you a few questions? Let me see what's in your pocket," all that, you should be able to request an attorney. And the attorney should communicate with the police, and the attorney communicates with you like a middleman. You know what I mean? That would take a lot of fear out. That would give a lot of accountability to the way they do their jobs. And I think it solve a lot of problems. You know what I mean?
Who's gonna pay for it?
I think the city ought to pay for it because, when you talk about money, they got money. That's a whole nother subject for maybe another night. But they got money. They just misuse it and they launder it. So, that's something else we can talk about because the money should.
Watch that ABC 7 Chicago tonight. The mayor's nephew, the mayor of the city of Chicago, they had a They had a monopoly for over 30 years before Rahm Emanuel became mayor. He was just found guilty today for laundering money.
See?
But they brought up the governors. You know, we had 4 governors that went to jail for laundering money, stealing money.
Yeah.
We had over, how many say over 20? Over 20 aldermen went to jail stealing money. But that ain't gonna pay for no lawyer to have present at every arrest. Not at every arrest. I don't think that that's in the budget.
Well,
You can't do it. It's just not feasible.
Well, let's look at it like this. It may not be every arrest. It may just be the ones who really feel like they need it. If you request it, you can have it. But if you like just say, okay, I was speeding, you got me, here's my license, give me the ticket, and I'll be on my way. But
you do have that. You do have that. You don't have to say nothing. Give them your ID, keep your mouth closed. If they say we're going to station, we're going to station. And then you have the right to an attorney. So you do have that.
You do.
Well, so
now,
then,
do you want to deal with that?
Well, then money ain't an issue if we already have it. If we already have it, we already had the money for it somehow.
Am I right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean,
I
know you have the right to a court-appointed attorney, but every time I've been arrested, I've probably been arrested 30, 40 times. And every time I've ever been arrested, they do what they want with you. And they done beat me up at the station. They beat me up before. I was talking shit. I was drunk. I was calling them names. I was resisting. I was acting like a fool, you know? Man, they straight up punched me in the station with handcuffs on. You know, so I didn't really have.
But like you said, you was in the wrong, and you knew you was in the wrong.
You damn right I was.
That's just like him taking that $20 bill in that motherfucking store. Knew he was wrong.
But tell me this: where in the law book does it say the police are allowed to punch you?
They don't. It's not.
So now they broke the law. They ain't no better than me. I broke the law. They just broke the law.
No doubt.
How are they any different? And that's what we need to stop, because
they're not.
The ones, huh? Yeah.
But they're the one that holds the power.
That's right.
In the situation.
That's right. And they're abusing the power. They abuse the power.
So what do you do about that?
Well, you have to clean them out. I mean, this is my one idea.
That's the $1 million question, huh?
Is the Perry Act. Have an attorney present at my request. And if you don't abide by that, it should be some major ramifications for that. If the police deny,
we got you one at your request. After we take your ass down here, we're gonna get you one. But you're gonna sit down here
and you ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah,
keep your mouth closed and wait on your attorney.
That's it. And wait on this court-appointed motherfucker to come whenever he comes. But if you pay the motherfucker, he's gonna be there when you get down there.
Yeah.
Hey,
you see what I'm saying?
As a matter of fact, they got 72 hours till he get there.
Oh. So is that how you want to play it? Come on, let's go. You see what I'm saying? For this traffic ticket you were talking about.
Hey boy, y'all don't know about this Chicago pizza. It's the best pizza.
We got Little Caesars around here. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Good pizza, good.
Little Caesars, $5.50, I believe it is now. It ain't $5 no more.
Hey, this girl up here right now from Augusta, Georgia. Say hi. Say hi. Let them know you're from Georgia. Let them know. Hey, she's a bartender at 706.
Yeah, some little kid done got killed over there the other night. They ain't even old enough to get in the club.
Man.
They killed a little 8-year-old girl down in Southside Projects a couple weeks ago.
Oh, they kill kids up here on the daily.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I see that a lot of where you from, but down here, it's something different. And a lot of
It's
people
shocking
talk
down
about it.
there.
Huh?
Up here, I say it's shocking down there, but
Yeah,
up here it's normal.
yeah. And it shouldn't be normal nowhere.
Mm-mm.
That shouldn't be normal.
What
No,
You know
it
what I'm
shouldn't
saying?
be.
what shouldn't be normal?
Kids getting
Yeah,
killed,
yeah.
shot
I know.
by random stray fucking bullets.
Yeah, let's talk about that one night.
I mean,
Because hey,
I'm talking about it now.
think about this. When I'm trying to send myself something here, I want to show y'all. But when January 6th happened, they put up a fence around the White House and all that, the Capitol, right?
Yeah.
Hey, how many school shootings has there been? Kids getting killed at schools, like 15.
There's so many now. Yeah,
they
that's normal now. That's normal.
Why did they never put up one fence? They never put up a fence. And that's another thing I thought about. That proves to you that the government is not interested in doing the things the people need them to do. Like put up a fence around the school. How many school shootings you got to have before they put up a fence? And some people say, oh, it looks like a jail.
Let me ask you this: who's the least protected in this world?
Probably the kids.
They say black women, but it's the kids. Cause you know why?
Yeah.
Why?
No, I said you're right. Yeah, you're right. But why? No, I don't know why.
Because they can't vote.
Yeah, they can't vote. That's another subject for another night.
They can't vote. So guess what? Anything get to happen to them. Mothers get to play games with fathers. Everything. Kids don't have no say so in nothing.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. But brother, I told you I come on here for a few minutes. I like where it's going, but I got.
Hey, hold on. You can't go yet, man. I got one thing to show you here. I want you to see this.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now hold on. Let me share my screen, Barry. You ready?
Yeah.
Have I been sharing my screen the whole time? Oh. You know that?
Giordano?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's Chicago pizza. We ate there.
Yeah, I know.
That's down on the strip, on the amusement park. What's it called? I forgot.
Grant Park.
Yeah. Barry, you got to go there, man. You want to see a beautiful city?
I tried to bring Barry up here so many times.
Man, you would love it. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's amazing how it's the kind of place you never want to leave, man.
Hey, if you Google in Chicago,
look at that pizza.
This pizza right here. That's called Italian Fiesta. Italian Fiesta pizza. You ain't gonna find nobody black. Hey, and it's a black-owned restaurant. The best pizza in the city of Chicago. Now she done had Giordano's and she done had this. And I bet you she said this is better than Giordano's.
For real?
She said Giordano's too cheesy.
She likes any pizza, man. I don't think she's ever had a pizza she didn't like.
I don't like pizza like that no more.
She's a pizza fanatic, man.
I don't have the pizza y'all have either, though, I guess.
When she got off the plane last night, first thing she wanted was a pizza puff. Hold on. You need what? You heard him?
No,
I didn't.
Hold on.
I don't know what she said, brother.
She said some Harold's fried chicken.
Harris.
Some Harold.
Not the one in Atlanta.
No.
Which one's the original?
Here in Chicago.
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town. Look, till next time.
Hey, man.
Yes, sir.
I started that. Okay, I bought the domain a long time ago. I own the domain, but there's nothing on it. I'm going to put something on it tomorrow while I'm at work. I'm going to just put a HTML page with a sign-up form. Whoever watches this video, if they like, I want to put some details. I got some stuff typed out years ago. I typed out a whole bunch of like, you know, sort of like description of the whole thing, of my idea, the Perry Act. And I think they ought to make it a law. And if anybody else has any like ideas or, you know, like where we gonna get the money, anything like that, I'm all ears, because
how to make it happen.
How to make it happen. I'd like to see everybody get behind it. And if it needs to be tweaked, changed, altered, I'm all for that. But
hey,
we should take that to the government.
When you gonna do this again?
Tomorrow night, next night.
I'm gonna have my stats together for you.
Okay.
And then that way I can share my screen and then show you the things I'm talking about.
Okay.
I just hopped on here tonight, you know what I'm saying, just on the humbug.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I got you.
It's good to meet you.
All right, man. Y'all be easy.
All right, appreciate that.
Hey, listen. Another night. I was gonna tell him because tomorrow I got some stuff to do in Queens. So I don't know if I'm gonna be home.
It's fine, you know.
Yeah, it might be another night because I'm starting to get a little bit busy. We got a couple projects going, you know. So I might be like tied up. And plus my parts came from my Explorer. So I'm trying to get that fixed. You know what I'm saying?
I sure do.
Yeah. But man, I don't know, you know. I feel like if people know that they can have this is what I want to show you right here. Look. Oh, I think I closed it. I did closed it. But anyway, you want to get off of here, man, or what?
Yeah, it's about that time. We're going to shut it down. Been an hour. That's good.
Okay, cool.
And
we'll go to that night. Well, I'll tell you what it was. I was gonna show you some video of George Floyd about a year before that incident happened.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I mean, yeah, I can show it to you.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, here, real quick.
I'm going to still be here. I'm just going to go off camera for a second.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, go ahead.
A major development tonight in the murder trial of Derek Chauvin, one of the fired Minneapolis police officers charged in George Floyd's death.
Okay, that's not the video I found, which it don't really matter. But the
share
one I found. Okay.
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 I'm going to blow it all the way up.
Okay, you ready?
A major development tonight in the murder trial of Derek Chauvin, one of the fired Minneapolis police officers charged in George Floyd's death.
The judge denied a defense team request to use this video of a 2019 MPD arrest of Floyd as evidence. WCCO's Aaron Sansa walks us through the setbacks for both sides roughly 6 weeks before the start of the trial.
Watch.
This 2019 video shows Minneapolis police officers arresting George Floyd roughly a year before the arrest that ended in his death.
Put your hands
In it, Floyd does not initially comply with officer commands and faintly calls out for his mother when he's handcuffed and searched. It's footage defense attorneys were hoping to use to help build their case.
It shows a false narrative by the state. The state is portraying Mr. Floyd as somebody that he isn't. The 2019 video and compare them, they're almost identical.
Now, Judge Peter Cahill's ruling means jurors won't see the video.
It is a big blow. I would imagine the judge is keeping this out because it goes to character evidence of Mr. Floyd. And character evidence is normally not admissible at trial.
But there's also a setback for the prosecution. It wanted 8 of Chauvin's former acts to be admitted as evidence, but the judge only approved 2. In one case, Chauvin knelt on the neck of a woman who was on the ground. In the other, Chauvin saw 2 other officers place a man in a side recovery position. But whether it's the 2019 video or Chauvin's prior conduct, attorney Joe Tamburino says the door is shut, but not locked.
Mind you, these are all decisions that have happened.
Okay, that ain't what I really want. I mean, it is. That's the event.
Okay.
But I wanted to show you the actual video. Maybe this is it. Yeah, this is the actual video.
Okay. Of that, the arrest of that one you're talking about?
Yeah, this is a prior arrest of George Floyd prior to the day he got killed. Okay, look at how the police treat him and like how he reacts. And that's all you got to really look at, because he's reacting to their like threatening actions. You see what I'm saying? And this is the kind of thing that makes black people scared when the police pulls them over and then they run or whatever. They try to flee because this is the kind of shit they do. And they don't need to do it. They shouldn't do it like this. And if you,
it's the fight or flight mentality, you know.
Exactly. But see, the police sort of bring that. They contribute to that a lot of times. Not all of them. There's good ones, but there are the ones that do this shit, and they know what they're doing. They know how to go right up to the line without crossing the line. You see, watch. Look what they do.
Sir, passenger, seatbelt. Go ahead and undo your seatbelt. I don't plan on shooting you. I'm just saying, just take your time. Okay, relax. Just undo your seatbelt. Let her take care of her guy. Just keep your hands out where I can see them. Hey, let me. Keep your hands where I can see them. Okay, put them up on the dash. Put them on the dash.
See how they're doing?
I'm not going to shoot you. Put your hands on the dash. Put your hands on the dash. Last time
I'm not going to shoot you, but I got my gun in my hand.
Yeah, but shit, put your hands on the dash. You done told him.
I know. Yeah.
Put them on your head.
But what I want you to capture here is the way that they escalate the situation by their voice and their tone.
And their temperament. Yes, definitely.
Definitely. See, they should not be doing that, because
that's when they play in that, you know, their authority, man.
Yeah,
that's what they do. They're pushing their authority on you and every other man.
Right.
You know,
but Barry,
because he woke up on the wrong side of the bed that day.
Yeah,
maybe.
Or whatever. Right. And the thing is, this is a proven psychological fact. This is a proven psychological fact. When you're in fear, you make irrational decisions. Your mind can't think straight because you're scared. Every human being has that. It has that effect. You can't escape it. It is a natural trait of the human mind and animals. Animals too. When they're fearful, they react differently, and they don't react always logically. You see what I mean? So the police, by escalating the fear, they're actually working in the opposite direction. They need to be detecting the level of fear and trying to de-escalate that level of fear. Even if you have to just stand there for 60 seconds and don't say a word, just shut up for 6 seconds and stand there and look at George Floyd through the window and just be quiet. And eventually he's going to say, what's going on? Because you just standing there being quiet. What's going
that's
on?
an awkward moment. That's just like
an awkward moment, right?
Yeah.
And all the police can say is, I'm trying to let you calm down. I'm just trying to let you calm down. There's nothing for you to worry about. Everything's cool.
Yeah.
All we need to see is that you're not holding a weapon and whatever it is. If you got drugs, we'll talk about that. You know what I mean? You know you're not supposed to have drugs, whatever, but there's no need to panic. There's no need to fear. If you got some drugs, I'll write you a ticket, let you go, whatever, depending on how bad it is, something like that. But to me, possession of drugs should not be an arrestable offense. Just because you got drugs in your pocket, you should maybe get a citation, but I don't think it should be an arrestable offense. I really don't. If it's a lot of drugs, like a couple kilos, they should take it. They should seize it, because that's kind of dangerous to have that out on the streets. Who knows? You know what I mean? I mean, if it's illegal.
So what do you think about having that fentanyl shit that's killing everybody now?
Well,
you see what I'm saying? That's a narcotic, meth, crack. You know what I'm saying? That shit. Yeah, you can't have that shit, man. You can't have that shit.
I agree. So if you have that, it should be confiscated. You should get a citation and a court date. But you should not be arrested for having a little bit of dope in your pocket. You ain't done no other crime. Like you haven't hurt anyone.
Yeah, you're right.
They say, well, you could hurt someone. Well, I could hurt someone with my lawnmower. You know what I mean? You could. A lot of things could happen, but until they happen, it didn't happen. So you could go all day with what could happen. But my thing is, they need to, take a look at that. What's an arrestable offense?
What do you think about this? What do you think about this? So a guy sold somebody some drugs, cocaine or whatever, pills or whatever, and they took it and they died. Yeah. Right? What do you think should happen to the drug dealer? Because who sold it to him?
It should be the same as if you got a DUI and you killed somebody. It's involuntary manslaughter.
I'm the drug dealer. You're the buyer. I sold you a pill. I didn't manufacture it. I bought it from somebody just like you did, right? Yeah. But I'm selling it instead of taking it. And you take it, you kill over.
Yeah.
So you think the drug dealer should go to jail for that?
Yeah.
Selling you that bad dose?
Well, yeah, it's involuntary manslaughter. Yeah. To me, it's the same thing as if.
I'm just asking, I'm just asking, because they're doing that to a guy down here right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like 2 years ago, it happened, and they just went and locked the guy up last week.
Yeah. Well, me and you got a person we know, I was friends with in high school, went to our school. You know him. I'm not going to say his name on here, but he had an accident and killed somebody. And he wasn't drunk. He had no drugs in his system. They took his phone. They searched his phone. He was not texting. He was not speeding. He passed on a dotted line. But when he finished passing the person, he was on a solid
line.
And you know what? He went, it was like a 3-year investigation.
Hey, put that in the back chat, who that was, because I don't know.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later. But
do it on the private chat.
It was like a 3-year investigation. And they finally, the guy who died, his mom pestered the police for 3 years to arrest the guy we know, our friend who had an accident. They couldn't hardly find, the only thing they found was illegal lane change or something like that. It was a lane violation, like failure. I don't remember what they called it. Passing on a double line. That's what he basically was his only charge, but he also got charged with involuntary manslaughter because he killed the man. And I think he did at least 6 months in jail, and then he got the rest on like parole or probation. But he's got involuntary manslaughter on his record forever. He was a commercial driver. He has CDL. He was a truck driver. Now, he wasn't driving a truck. He was driving his personal car with his 81-year-old mother in the front seat with him when the accident happened. Yeah. And the other driver died. And the girl, he had his girlfriend with him. They were 21 and like 23 years old, and they both died.
He only got 6 months?
I ain't sure, man. I know he ended up doing some jail time, but they could not find anything wrong. He had no drugs, no alcohol, no texting. He had a pristine driving record because he has CDL, but they had to, man.
What do you think about that? As far as the sentence, I understand he's a good guy, straight flyer, straight shooter, working man.
Yeah,
but he's took the life of 2 people.
Yep,
being in a hurry.
Same thing, man. It's involuntary manslaughter.
It is, man. Yeah, it is.
It was an accident. It was an accident. But it
took a life.
Right, and that mother, she has lost her kid.
That's
and
right.
the girl, mother and father, their kid is gone. And that's devastating.
That is.
I mean, it's devastating.
That is devastating.
If that was me, I would be so heartbroken. If I was either of those people, the mom and dad of the dead or the guy that we know that this
That's right.
Dude, I would not be able to sleep at night. I would be so depressed and just like unsettled in my heart that I killed someone, man. I would not be able to, it would take a long time to recover from that, so yeah, but sad to say, I mean, he didn't intend to do it, but he did it. So, since you selling drugs and somebody dies, you knew what you were doing. You know what I mean? Like if he'd have been texting, well, you knew that you were texting, you shouldn't have been, so it should be a more severe penalty or if you were DUI, you know what I mean? It's a severe penalty because you did something you were doing wrong and you killed somebody, and that should be stiffer penalty, right? But same thing with selling drugs. But just having drugs, that shouldn't be arrestable. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Because what did you do?
I mean, there's got to be a certain amount. I mean, you got a key of fucking cocaine, you're not selling it. So
yeah, okay, a key of cocaine maybe, but still, what's wrong with a citation? And because if you got a key of cocaine and you're going to jail, you might run.
Yeah, but they're the criminals.
But when you flee, it's a whole lot more risk, danger to innocent people.
Yeah, and that's why they give your ass them big ass long years for when they catch you.
Yeah, I know.
And they whoop your ass.
But see, man, by then it's too late, man. Somebody innocent got hurt, killed, died, and the whole thing could have been avoided. And I think that we can fix that. That's not something we can't fix. And I think one way to do it is to guarantee people unconditionally, if the police approach you, you have the right to an attorney right then. Right then. It doesn't mean you're not going to get the ticket or whatever, but you should have the right to someone with legal background, legal expertise who can even the playing field between you and the policeman, because they know the law.
But like I say, you can do that, but it's going to take you going downtown to do it.
No, right then.
I understand. You don't have time. We can't sit right here on the side of the road until a lawyer gets there.
Yes, we can. Why can't we?
Don't have the time. There's an armed robbery going on.
Well,
I can't sit here and wait on a lawyer to get it, but I can take you down to the station.
Yeah.
Let you sit there until that lawyer goes. I have to get back out here as an officer.
Well,
and you wouldn't want 2 officers sitting there on the side of the road for hour and a half waiting on another lawyer, Russ, either as a taxpayer.
Yeah, that's
sitting there. Every time you get down the road, I want a lawyer too. I want a lawyer. Look, you're going down the highway. You can look on the right-hand side of the highway. You've got 7 people, and you see what I'm saying?
I'm waiting on my attorney.
Yeah. Hey, we're waiting.
Yeah. Well, you know,
waiting.
What
That's it.
Think about what else it's going to do. It's going to deter the police from stopping anybody for some stupid shit. Oh, he didn't have a seatbelt on. Oh, he got a headlight burn out. And see, you'll cut down on a lot of that shit because the police know if I stop this guy for some off the wall reason and he doesn't feel right about it, he could call a lawyer and it's going to tie me up for an hour and a half. And you know what I'm saying? And you know, I think that would happen too. That would be a result, is that the police would cut down on just random stops. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they got some kind of law. I can't remember where it is, and it's something they're implementing. All right, if we pull you over for a taillight, we can't go no further as far as search a car for drugs.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I can't write you another ticket for drugs, but because I was pulling you up for a taillight. They got something like that. I don't know exactly, but
right.
Yeah. That'll cut it down a little bit, but who's gonna tell him it was right? You know what I mean? I saw him smoking a blunt instead of the damn taillight after I done pulled you over. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't really see that. But when I do see it, that's why I pulled you over.
Right.
Instead of the taillight.
Exactly. They blame it on
they find yes. Yeah.
I stopped you for a taillight.
But it smells like marijuana in here.
Right. And see, that's what I think. If you had a lawyer right then, if you feel like they're going too far, you can say, wait, stop. Something ain't right here. I want an attorney. And he should like maybe put a little boot on your wheel, like you know those things they put on tractor trailer wheels where the tractor trailer can't roll. They should put that on your wheels so you can't drive off and just wait for the attorney to get there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I know what you mean. You're trying to solutions.
There's
trying to solve the problem. You know, I know.
Yes, solutions.
But
there may be some kinks to work out. But if we can work them out, wouldn't it be worth it? You would solve so many problems if you could get that, you know, all ironed out and, you know, a fair.
I think you just should put a damn kill switch in all the cars. I mean,
yeah, I thought about that.
They're all new cars. They're all electronic and shit. So you run your tag, you're fucking doing something bad, we hit the button. Only people who have this technology is the police.
Right.
Type people, right? So just hit the button.
Yeah. I thought
just hit the button and watch their dumb ass stop. And about, you know, it slows the car down, disables it. What did they do on that bait car shit?
Yeah.
The bait car? Same thing.
Lock them
in. You know what I'm saying? Setting motherfuckers up. And they fall for it.
I know.
But I'm just saying legal cars, you know what I mean? You want to stop a car, but then there's always going to be somebody learn how to do it, not just stopping cars. But that's just a one-off.
Or true, if you stop the car, like you're talking about, the driver could still jump out and run on foot and then still jump out and shoot. So I think my idea takes the fear out of the driver. Right when you're driving down the road and you pass a police, or you look in the mirror and there's a police behind you, your heart starts beating. My thing takes that away, because I already know if he fucks with me and it don't feel right, I can snap my fingers and the lawyer he can't say nothing else to me. He has to go.
That's if you ain't doing nothing wrong.
It don't matter what I'm doing.
You're being a damn legal citizen, that ain't gonna bother you. But if I'm a 2-time felon and I got this gun on me, that shit, I'm not going back.
Right.
I don't want to go to jail that easy. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true, Barry. But the thing is, if you're a 2-time felon and you got a gun on you, you still got rights. You might be breaking the law, but you still have rights. And one of those rights is illegal search and seizure. So if the police comes and says, sir, you're wrong, we have the right to search your car, and I need you to step out right now. You don't know if he's telling the truth. Does he really have the right? Because the Constitution says illegal search and seizure. You can't do that. So it may see that's what the police know the law, and they can tell you, hey, this is the law, and you don't know the difference, and that's unfair. That's unfair. See,
you got to study up on the law if you're gonna be a damn criminal. You should anyway.
Right. But I feel like, man, you know, it'll take a lot of the fear, and that's where a lot of the problems start, man. Because when you're fearful, you don't make rational decisions. You know what I'm saying? It's a proven fact, psychological. They prove this. Even animals, if they're in fear, they act irrationally. They act on impulse. They lash out. They try to protect themselves. You see what I mean? But I believe if you knew in the back of your mind, I have a right to attorney on the scene, not 3 months later when I get to court, on the scene. That'll take a lot of the fear out of people's hearts. You know what I'm saying? And then the police get behind you or pull you over, you're not all like heart beating, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I really do, man. You know, and a lot of it's going to have to be within the police themselves. They got to get them intact. Some of them, not all of them, because a lot of them's good, man. I know a policeman down here in at the Dunkin'. I see him at the Dunkin' Donuts where I go get coffee. I greet him. I say hello. Just wave out the window. He'll be sitting in the parking lot. He just got his coffee, just chilling. He ain't looking at nobody. He's just sitting there. And I say, you know, wave like that. He waves, stuff like that. So I feel like there's some good ones out there that, you know, are probably the majority of them, but there's some that ain't, man. And when they feel like they can't be touched because they know the routine and they know the system.
Yeah, they know what they can do, and they know you don't know.
That's right. And that ain't fair, see? That ain't fair. That's how the corruption gets embedded, is because, you know, they're out there with no accountability. No one to tell them, hey, that's not legal. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can call the sergeant. I know you can do that. But the thing is, no matter what we got in place already, like Ant was saying, you already got that. It ain't working because look at all this shit that happens. Fleeing, looting, jump out of cars, shooting, police shooting the driver. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's chaos. You know, there's definitely a problem. Definitely a problem. No one can deny that. That is a problem, and it needs to be solved because it's not right. You know what I mean? It's not like my intent. I like to see like love. You know what I mean? That's why Valentine's Day. Here, let me share my screen. Here, I got this for Valentine's Day. Watch this. Show me some love, motherfucker. Show me some love. You see that?
I don't.
Oh, hold on, I forgot. Check it out. Show me some love, motherfucker. Show me some love. Show me some love. Show me some love. And you know, man, that's what BLM was. That's the whole root of their movement. Show me some love. You know what I mean? Don't be beating us up. Don't be abusing us. Don't be pulling your gun and putting it in my face. Don't be yelling at me through the window, treating me like a chump.
Why? Huh? Why? The only time Black Lives Matter.
No, they got a good point, man. See, that's the tragedy. They got a great point.
Oh, they got a great something that'll hit the heart for everybody. Yeah. How can you say no against that? How can you say no, right?
Exactly.
How can you say no? But do they really mean that because a motherfucking black dude kill a black dude? Where are they at, Russ?
Well, yeah,
where the fuck are they at? But if you was the police and killed old motherfucking junkie nigga with $20 fake dollar bills, the whole world. Change the world.
I know.
Change the world, Craig.
Change the world. But the thing is, man, the Black Lives Matter movement was protesting police brutality, police overreach, police abuse. You know, the abuse.
Black Lives Matter. black lives.
Yeah, I know, but the whole.
But it don't matter when the black kill the black.
Yeah, no, you're
You know
right.
what I'm saying? That's the problem.
Well, you know what, Barry? You got to do
They
one
should
thing.
be out there just the same way. Should have been out there the same way.
Yeah, but you got to do one thing
that little 8-year-old girl got killed. They wasn't out there.
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere, man. You can't do everything at once. You know, you do one thing at a time. And that's where they had the platform. It was fresh. And
Yeah.
BLM.
It was right on time.
But BLM came to the surface. Everybody knew.
Do you know who the organizers of that were?
Yes, I do.
And you know what they done? Are they still there?
Yeah,
or did they buy?
I know her name. Yes,
or
she
did
bought
she,
a whole bunch of real estate. She bought a whole bunch of real estate with the money.
Hey, that's something.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's the tragedy. That's the tragedy. The main corporate office hijacked the whole movement and for money. And where are we at now? Black Lives Matter they got a name for violence. Their money's gone, and everybody just dismissed it. You know, and that's the tragedy, man. We should have came together on the Perry Act and passed a law that from now on, if the police stop you, approach you anywhere you're at for any reason, you can demand an attorney right then. And you don't have to.
I know what you mean, but
like I say, if you feel
uncomfortable,
you should be able to have an attorney. And that
the
would take
logistics of that would be impossible, man. There's no way to do that.
No. Don't say impossible, see, because we can do this. It's not. I thought about it a lot.
I just say I know you have, but the kink is you cannot hold the police officers' time up. That's the whole thing. I don't know if you get somebody else, or the police that calls a lawyer and a fucking another babysitter dude, but the policeman cannot sit there waiting on the lawyer.
But you know what? I tell you,
he
man,
can take you there. Look, but I can take you over here, and that was where we're gonna drop you off till you get that lawyer man you were talking about. No problem, no problem. But that's what they do now. So it costs you a little bit. So it costs you a little bit of money to get back out of where I'm taking you.
Yeah, but see that, but it don't work.